In 2003, a 19-year-old college dropout walked into Silicon Valley with a massive dream. She told everyone she was going to change medicine forever. No needles, no pain, just an idea that sounded, honestly, like pure science fiction. And the crazy part? The world actually believed her. But behind the closed doors of her high-tech labs, they were hiding a massive secret. A secret that would build an absolute empire and then completely destroy it. Welcome to this explainer on Elizabeth Holmes and the billion-dollar lie that fooled America.
One drop of blood, hundreds of tests. That was the pitch. The magical promise that totally captivated the brightest, wealthiest minds in business. But there was one absolutely terrifying problem here. The technology, it never actually worked. Not in the beginning, not at the absolute peak of her fame, not ever.
Part 1. The Perfect Silicon Valley Fantasy.
The whole thing started at Stanford. She was young, quiet, and she famously wore these black turtlenecks just to mirror Steve Jobs. I mean, she knew exactly how to play the part, right? And her pitch was totally flawless. Traditional testing meant fear, large tubes, painful needles. But the Theranos promise? Just a single, painless drop from a tiny finger brick. Instant detection of massive things like cancer and diabetes. It sounded like a true futuristic miracle, and investors just became completely obsessed.
But here is the real mystery of this whole thing. Almost nobody actually understood how the technology worked. Not the investors, not even her legendary board of directors. We're talking former secretaries of state, military generals, powerful politicians. Honestly, the board looked way less like a medical company and more like a top-secret government war room. Their trust was totally blind. And, well, when incredibly powerful people trust someone, everyone else just follows right along. And that blind trust, it created an absolute empire. $9 billion. Billions just poured into her company. Elizabeth Holmes literally became the world's youngest self-made female billionaire. The media praised her as this unbelievable revolutionary. From the outside looking in, she had won the game.
Part 2. The machine that never worked.
So if we step away from the glossy magazine covers and the slick TV interviews, behind closed doors, employees were absolutely terrified. The company had created this small machine they called Edison. And sure, it looked sleek, it looked modern, but the reality of it was an absolute nightmare. Inaccurate tests, unreliable results, false medical reports being sent out to real people. I mean, just think about the sheer terrifying danger here. Patients were literally being told they were healthy when they were actually really sick, or they were told they had a fatal disease when they were perfectly fine.
Part 3. A culture built on fear. To keep a secret of this magnitude under wraps, you need absolute ironclad control. Teams were deliberately separated. They were watched incredibly closely. And the playbook was brutal. If you noticed a dangerous mistake and tried to speak up, you get fired immediately. And then you face the lawyers fast. Holmes used aggressive legal action like a weapon. It was all designed to completely crush anyone who even thought about exposing the lie. So you're probably looking at all of this and wondering, with the machines failing and the employees totally panicking, why did investors keep giving her money? Why did the cash just keep flowing in? Because people wanted to believe her. That's the truth of it. This scam didn't survive on real innovation. Not at all. It survived purely on a perfect Silicon Valley fantasy. This compelling story of a young woman single-handedly changing healthcare, a true visionary. The story was simply too good to actually verify.
Part 4. The billion-dollar empire collapses.
You see, every lie has an expiration date. Eventually, a journalist named John Carrieru started digging. And despite the threats and the lawsuits, terrified former employees finally started talking. They revealed the shocking ultimate secret at the core of this entire fraud. The illusion was that this revolutionary Edison machine was doing all the work. But the reality? They were secretly using traditional, bulky blood testing machines made by other companies. The groundbreaking technology that made Elizabeth Holmes a billionaire was largely a phantom. And once that illusion shattered, man, it all fell apart so fast. 2015 hits and the truth goes completely public. Federal investigators step right in. Lucrative partnerships just disappear overnight. The media completely turns on her. And this rapid downward spiral leads straight to 2022, where she is finally found guilty on multiple counts of fraud. But honestly, what's truly mind-bending about all this is the sheer denial. Even as her world collapsed, she claimed Theranos was being attacked unfairly. Even as the massive pile of evidence reached the ceiling, even as major partners realized they had been completely played, Elizabeth Holmes just kept smiling. absolutely refusing to admit the truth of what she had done.
When the trial finally happened, the prosecution seriously didn't hold back. They laid it all out. Fake demonstrations, misleading reports, hidden failures, deeply calculated deception. They made it incredibly clear that this wasn't just a startup making an honest, messy mistake. This was fraud, deliberate, calculated, and incredibly expensive fraud.
Part 5. The True Danger of Hype. Zooming out for a second, scams like this don't just happen because of one person's lies. They happen because of collective belief, because of hype and excitement. Just look at who believed her. We're talking billionaires, powerful politicians, elite executives. But the true tragedy here? It's the ordinary patients who trusted her with their actual health. This was blind trust mixed with unimaginable power and massive amounts of money. Some of the smartest people in America fell for a story that was just too good to resist, leaving everyday people at serious risk.
The biggest scams don't look like crimes at all. They look like inspiration. Elizabeth Holmes didn't steal a single dime using a weapon. She stole it with a story. And for a really long time, America believed every single second of it. Well, if you enjoyed diving into this explainer, stay focused and keep asking the tough questions because, as we've seen today, behind every massive fortune, there's almost always a secret waiting to be uncovered.